welcome to the Enchanted Mike podcast. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Michelle.
And you're listening to episode 2 of our Enchanted Mike podcast, where we will be talking about resorts, one of our favorite topics.
It's a great topic.
Absolutely. We thoroughly enjoy the resorts we stayed at. We stayed at 15 of them, one of them 4 times, and I think we stayed at 4 resorts off property.
Yeah, we love staying on property. It is definitely a hard choice to stay off or on property, and you have to really look at budget and the perks of staying on property, and we choose on. And
on property, because we do not like the FOMO you feel when you stay off property, but we have, and I think we're actually going to be staying off property again this year at some point.
Yeah, we usually do mostly on and then at least 1 or 2 trips off a year. We got to balance out the budget. But there are some really great perks for staying on property.
Yeah, which we'll get into. We also, the reason why we want to make episode 2 this one is because we started ranking all the resorts on our way home after our trips,
Right.
1 through 10. So,
Well, after we get done with every resort, we'll look at each other and be like, okay, 0 to 10, what do you think? You know,
and we would take into account like bedding, theming, location, restaurants, the vibe of the restaurant or vibe of the resort, pools.
how comfortable? Yeah, is there a playground? How comfortable is the bed? I mean, and just kind of go over what we thought it was. So it came kind of fun. Then off that, we decided to stay on we want to try to do every single on-property resort.
Absolutely. And I mean, when you make your Disney vacation plan, other than deciding when you're going to go, the next most important thing would probably be where you're going to stay.
Yeah, I mean, it really can hone in and really expand the magic. I think when you get back to your hotel and it's the friendly cast members and a really nice magical theming, and I don't know, there's just something so comforting about it.
Yeah. I mean, you're always if you're in the bubble, it's Disney all the time there.
I mean, when you go through the gates, they say welcome home.
I know.
It's the little things like that really just make the magic more magical. I don't know if that's how you say it, but we've really enjoyed staying on property. And we have a few that we do like off property too, closer to Disney Springs. We really, really love the Disney Springs area.
That's why Saratoga Springs is our favorite resort so far. So we have made a goal of staying at every Disney resort at some point.
We have to stop.
We got to
stop booking the Saratoga Springs. But it's just a go-to. It's just easy. We absolutely love being able to just go at the end of the park day and go over and grab, some dinner, go for a walk, go and enjoy the Christmas shop over there. It's just a really great location for us. We've enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So, but we've decided to me and Daniel do a little game when we go out to eat.
Yes.
And we always like to see what is going on at Disney as we have.
I'm sure some of y'all can relate to this when you're at work or far from Disney. You want to check the wait times.
Always Disney dreaming. So
that's right. So we're going to start with Tron Light Cycle. What do you think it is?
Okay. So we're talking about the wait times currently. Okay. So what time is it? Let's say it's
2:30 on a Monday.
2:30 on a Monday. Ooh, after lunch. I'm going to go 90 minutes.
No, lower.
60?
Close. 55.
Oh.
It's not bad, actually.
That's actually really low.
All right. Space Mountain.
45.
35.
Oh, my goodness. It's a great time to be in the parks.
I know, we should be there.
Where are all the people?
All right. Seven Dwarfs Mine Train.
75.
Close. 65.
Okay. That's still not
actually
terrible.
pretty good time.
So, okay. So if you're in the parks right now, must be a pretty decent day.
Nice. I know, right? So, all right. Well, let's get started we're going to talk about the perks of staying on property. So one of the main ones is their early entry rope drop, 30 minutes prior. Get you through security.
30 minutes before rope drop.
Yes. Well, yeah, 30 minutes before the park opens up to everybody else. So you get through security. You can do 2, probably 3 rides prior to the park opening.
Right. Before the lines really get long.
After that, cruise control. You can relax, set up your multi-pass lighting lanes.
It's a really nice way to try to get some of those long rides or attractions that have notoriously longer waits at a shorter line, and try to get that done and move on to other ones. And it's nice to...
Yeah, so that's a great perk to have. Also, if you stay in a deluxe, you get extended hours after the park's closed.
Extended evening hours.
Yeah,
so we've definitely utilized those.
We use that the most, I think. Well,
we did.
We did.
And then we had kids.
Now we do the early entry.
Yeah.
It's usually from like 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. and Epcot, Magic Kingdom, or Hollywood Studios.
Yeah, and so with that, it's amazing because there's very rare times where you can go to the parks and have a very small crowd size. I mean, the crowds are always there, even when you look at the crowd calendar, but
The rides are usually walk on.
Yeah, the deluxe hours, it's only the guests staying at deluxe resorts. And so it really cuts down the crowd significantly, and it gives you a different view of the parks because now you're there at night.
Hot outside.
Oh, yeah, it's not as hot.
So it's well worth the extra price, I guess you could say.
Yeah, it's a little bit harder with young kids unless your kids sleep in the stroller. Ours do not.
Or you have older kids, which would be nice.
Yeah, older kids are not going, or if your kids sleep in the stroller, it's a great perk to have.
Yep. Absolutely. So the next one would be the Lightning Lane passes. If you're staying on property, it is 7 days out before your trip starts. You can book it.
Yeah, the multi-pass.
Multi-pass, yep. And then the off-property is 3 days.
3 days.
Prior to your trip.
Which is a huge change because then you can really book some of the bigger ones like Slinky Dog Dash.
Yep. And
is that one on multi-pass?
Yeah, I believe so. And we used it last time we went in October for Magic Kingdom, and it was actually really good. We loved it. We got to do a bunch of stuff that we usually wouldn't be able to do or wouldn't have the patience to do with a toddler.
Yeah, so it would be dicey. But with the 7 days before, and you're always trying to say, is this going to be worth the cost? Because everything ends up being pretty pricey in Disney.
And I think we paid like $22 to $25 a person.
Yeah, for Magic Kingdom.
For Magic Kingdom.
And then Animal Kingdom was $17 per person.
Per person. So another thing is you get complimentary parking at the resorts or at the parks. So that's nice. We do preferred parking.
Yes.
So that's an extra $25. It's just $25 since we usually stay on property.
Yep. So then you can park, if you do preferred parking, you park so close to the front of the park. Everything but Magic Kingdom. We don't do preferred parking in Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, we've done it once, but it just you preferred parked at the TTC, so it's kind of
highly recommend a bus.
Yeah,
for that or bus or other form of monorail of transportation for that.
Depending on where you stay.
But it's really nice not to. All of the Disney resorts on Disney property do not have a resort fee, and they do not have a parking fee
anymore. So
that's a huge benefit because when you're staying off property, really it is less expensive, but you also have to look at parking. If you have a car, if you don't, then it definitely is less expensive that way. But then you also have to look at the resort fees. So sometimes the resort fees can really get up there.
Yeah, especially if you're staying, more than 2-3 days. If you're staying 5 days or a week, that resort fee and parking fee can add up quick. So
definitely.
Obviously, another thing is the theming and all the resorts on property.
Yes,
it's all there, so it's amazing. So
when you say off property, you're gonna get. I mean, there's nice resorts off property, but they're not that Disney magic. They don't have. I mean, when we walk in, like we were talking about, when we went to some of the little things when you're on property, then when you walk in, they have your name usually on the TV, and it says welcome, and it says your family name, and they play Disney music in the background.
With the park times scrolling through.
Yes, the park times scroll through. Yeah, so it's just like those little things. And then when you drive through, it says, welcome home, and just little touches like that can make a difference.
Absolutely. Also, they have the best pools. Clearly, all the resorts do. So, and then this year you get, on the day you check in at a Disney resort, you get access to a water park for free.
Yeah, and that's a great perk. Definitely. I mean,
we
haven't tried it, and we've never actually been to
a water park.
Well, when I was younger, but nothing like nothing recently or in the last decade.
So hopefully we will try this in April when we go. So we'll see
how to utilize.
So all right, let's get into it. Let's get into our favorite resort, Saratoga Springs.
It's our favorite.
Yep. So we stayed there December of 23.
For the fourth time.
Yes. So one of the main reasons is Disney Springs. That's why we were saying.
Proximity to Disney Springs is huge. We love going to the parks for a half day, coming home, taking a nap, and then finish out the rest of the evening at Disney Springs, walking around and doing some shopping and window shopping mostly. And
I know, right? It's a quiet resort. I mean, you can walk by the lake. It's not far from Disney Springs, depending on where you stay. And we tried to do the preferred. The first time we stayed, we were in the very last building. That was like a 30-minute walk. So we were like, this is not for us.
This is not walking. I mean, you walk in the parks all day. So the last thing you want to do when you get to your resort,
do another mile
walk another mile there and back. Once you eat, you're tired and you just want a short stroll. So, and the first time we stayed, it wasn't updated.
No, it was not.
Now everything's updated, I believe. But when we stayed, it wasn't, and the beds were really hard.
It was not comfortable, but we gave it another shot, and we did the preferred, and we usually stay in Congress Park, which is
a studio in Congress Park.
So that was nice. It's 10 minutes at Disney Springs, if that, at the back entrance.
And we usually have some beautiful view, whether it's of the golf course. I don't know if the golf course. Usually the lake.
Yeah, usually get a courtyard or we have a lake view, which has been really nice. So
and there's balconies, so that's really nice too.
Some of the downsides, it is kind of far from the parks. The buses have multiple stops. You know, if you're coming from the parks back to the resort, probably 4 or 5 stops.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
Food selection, Artisan Palate's good. They have a restaurant, but we've never been to it because you go to Disney Springs and you got an abundance of restaurants.
Why would you go there when you have like the most amazing restaurants within 10 minutes of walking distance? And
and then obviously with all DVCs, there is no daily room service.
Yeah, that's something to note too, because I know we talked about this, but I think they might do the trash, but I'm not sure. But they do give you like a vacuum and
paper plates,
and they they give you a couple
little kitchenette type.
They have great little things to have like a efficiency, so things that you have. But as far as like full room service,
and then luggage carts are few and far between. Just
at Saratoga Springs, absolutely.
Just be aware of that. So, but it is our favorite resort. If we were ever to become DVC members, that would be the one we would make our home resort.
Yeah, it also has a playground too, which it's really nice when you have a kiddo at the end of the day and then they take a nap and then they're ready to play again, but you're not quite ready to go back to the park, so you can take them down. They have a playground. They have a really nice kids pool too.
Kids pool with a little toddler slide, a little waterfall. And so the pool is real nice. They have multiple pools, so it's our favorite resort. And if you're into golf, it's on the golf course.
Yeah, I forgot the golf. We don't do golf, but if
and they have the Treehouse Villas, which are further away. So
we always drive past them. We've never seen them. We never stayed at them, but one day.
All right, let's move on to the Contemporary Resort. We stayed in this in November of 23.
I love the Contemporary.
So, I mean, the main draw to this one is the monorail that goes through it and then the proximity to Magic Kingdom.
Walking is key here. It is amazing. Being able to just get on foot and walk to Magic Kingdom and bypass buses
probably
and
like a 10-minute
monorails.
walk, if that.
Yes, it's huge. And it's so nice at the end of the day, too, when you're at the Magic Kingdom and you're like, all right, well, let's go home and take a walk, or let's go home and get a snack.
Not waiting in line of the monorail or for the buses where those lines can get crazy, especially at park close. You just walk right back to your resort and you are there.
Yes.
That's nice. Security check. It's one little security check. You go through it quick. You're not in the long line that everyone else has to go through.
It's an older resort. It definitely shows its age.
Yeah, they've updated
the individual rooms are much better, but the actual exterior and like the inside parts of it kind of show its age. I think it was futuristic back in the day.
Yeah,
so it's like what they thought futuristic was in the 60s.
It's themed by the Incredibles now. So our room was themed Incredibles, which is awesome. It's a large room. Yeah.
The inside of the rooms looks really good, and they're huge. I thought the rooms are quite large.
Yeah, very surprised by that.
Yeah, they're beautiful, and there's also this is a conference resort, so there's a lot of open spaces down like the escalator. So when you're trying to
have a toddler burn some energy, he just ran up and down the hallways, and
we would ride up the escalators, go down the stairs, and then there's these hallways were huge, and so he would just, if they're not having a conference, of course, he would just run around in it. It was like, and nobody was there. It was just like this beautiful blank space. Yeah,
it was great. And then obviously character dining is there, Chef Mickey's. So that's there.
I can't wait to do that.
The monorail that goes through it. So the pool is okay. It's not. It's just a normal pool. The splash pad was nice.
The splash pad was very nice. The pool, I think, was average. I mean, it's nothing to write home about. The Steakhouse 71
was amazing.
So good.
We've been there several times. We've done breakfast a few times, and we've done dinner.
We do love the brunch there.
Yeah,
it's very fancy, but it is delicious food.
Yes, very good food. So, that's a Contemporary, which would bring us right into Bay Lake Tower, which is connected to the Contemporary,
which is the DVC version of Contemporary. I guess
it's connected with a bridge on the 4th floor.
Now that we stayed there a good 2022, December of 22.
Yeah, so we enjoyed that. The bridge is awesome because at night, if you're home with the toddler, you can sit on the bridge. They pipe music in onto the bridge. And you can watch the Magic Kingdom fireworks. It's really cool.
That's a really magical part of staying there because you don't want to quite be in the parks because it's kind of past bedtime, but you can just come down to the bridge and they pipe this beautiful music, and there's a ton of people standing there with you, so you still kind of get that magical feeling because everybody's so excited to watch it.
And then the rooms have a little kitchenette, like a galley kitchenette, so it's kind of interesting setup.
This is the only room we've ever seen set up at Disney like this, where it's almost like a galley kitchen. And at the time we went, I was still nursing.
Yeah.
And so I had, all the pumping and milk storage stuff, and it was really nice to have like a separate area away that felt very safe and compartmentalized to put that there. So it was a nice little area.
It is a DVC, so no room service. You have to walk to the Contemporary to get food. There's no restaurants in Bay Lake. If you have a lake view room, you will be able to see the electrical parade. which is nice. We saw part of it.
We did not have a lake view.
We did not, but you could kind of see some of it.
If you put your head all the way out of the balcony and then just tilted it, you could see some of it. So, you know.
So it just depends on what
we counted it.
And you can get resort or park view rooms, which are obviously more expensive. But
absolutely.
We had a parking lot view. So
which is fine.
Yeah, which is fine.
You know what? It's fine.
We didn't do the pool there. I think it's just a contemporary pool, I believe. I don't know if they have an actual Bay Lake
I'm not
pool.
sure if Bay Lake has a separate pool.
So, all right. So our next one is the Polynesian Resort. So this one has
put a disclaimer out there.
Disclaimer on this one. So we went in October of 2020. Pretty much height of COVID
restrictions. So I know everybody loves this resort, and we really want to love it. We really do. But when we went, it was a very lackluster, very not disappointing, but just kind of like a letdown.
Yeah.
And I don't think it was.
Which we kind of knew there had some COVID stuff going on, but they were
working through, like they were
redoing the monorail entrance of the Poly, so we couldn't get on the monorail.
They were doing all the monorail. That's right, the entrance to the monorail. So then the monorail was down.
Yeah, so we couldn't get on the monorail from the Poly. Had to walk to the TTC. Ohana's was closed. Trader Joe's was closed. The pool was closed. Mm-hmm. There was no music on the beach to watch the fireworks.
And there was very strict mask precautions. So it's one thing with Disney. We went a lot during COVID, and
which is nice because there was nobody in the parks.
That's right. It was of course, park capacity was lowered due to the safety concerns, but there was cast members would walk around like if you were inside and we were in the lounge area, because that was the only thing that was open was the lounge, and you put your mask on to eat your food or take a drink. They would like make sure you put it up like right away, like right there, and they would comment if you didn't. So it was very kind of jarring, but I understand the safety concerns, but it was again a different experience.
Yeah, and we've been there since, to eat or to not as a guest,
just to go in.
And the vibe is awesome. Like it's fully open, obviously, but
they did have Dole Whips, so that was a redeeming factor.
Yeah, that was the room was nice. It had the 2-head shower with a waterfall shower head, I believe.
Yeah, and it also, the interior was really nice. It had kind of those darker woods, darker colors, if I remember right. It had a nice balcony. I think we were on the ground floor for that one.
The walkout, so we could walk out the back door and then kind of head towards the park. So it was nice. Yeah, sliding glass doors. So.
They had those really beautiful gas tiki torches that are. It's really beautiful when you walk around, and so that was kind of we enjoyed that factor. I would say some of the other things are a little bit rough.
Yeah, definitely got to try it again.
Oh, the other thing is transportation. You could take your boat over. Yes, that was really cool, too.
You could take the boat, and now you can do the monorail on the boat to get to And
I don't remember if the boats were running when we went there because of the restrictions, too. Yeah, they might have been, but I can't remember.
But you couldn't sit on the beach because they didn't want people crowding. So we definitely got to redo this one.
We do. So those of you who love it, give us grace. We will try again.
Yeah. So, all right. So the next one is actually not really off property, but it's the Swan and Dolphin. We stayed there in October of 2019. Oh wait, no, yep. So we did the Swan and Dolphin. So it is a partner hotel, and it's also considered a deluxe.
It is considered a deluxe, yes, and it's quite expensive. It's quite expensive.
Yeah, it's a Marriott hotel. So if you have Marriott points, you can obviously book a room. It's walking distance to Hollywood Studios, closer to Hollywood Studios than Epcot. So it's on it's kind of on the board. It is on the boardwalk. So
it's on the boardwalk,
and part of the boardwalk next to the Beach and Yacht Club.
And you can walk over there. The rooms are when we went again. I think there's been some updates since then. But when we went, rooms are kind of like standard hotel rooms.
Yeah,
nice hotel rooms.
Nothing to write home about.
Yeah,
but they've just recently updated them. So
they don't have balcony. So most deluxes, when you stay on Disney property, have balconies. This one did not.
Yeah, I remember you were standing in the window.
I was standing in the window
trying to watch the fireworks
from Epcot.
Yeah, that was awesome.
So I think it was the drone show or something that they had, or maybe it was the new.
It was with the jet skis, and they had
okay.
When they had it at Epcot, the jet skis.
I was trying. So I was literally like inside of the window trying to peer out. So they don't have the balcony, but it's a standard hotel room, and it does have.
You do have transportation. Yeah, you can do the boat transportation to Hollywood
Studios. Yes, the friendly boats. They call them friendly boats.
And then it has transportation to all the other parks.
And via bus, or you could walk.
And there's 2 restaurants inside. So we ate at the Blue Zoo.
Can you get through the Skyliner from there?
If you walk to Hollywood Studios.
That's the only one. Okay.
Yep. Some of the this one does have a resort fee and parking fees. I think I looked it up. It's $50 a day for the resort, and then $36 a night for parking, up to 5 nights.
Yeah, it's great. Valet is $44.
Yeah, so that can add up quick if you stay up to 5 nights. So,
absolutely.
No Disney theming. Obviously, you can't use your magic bands.
That's like one of those little things that just sets off on property. When you can use your magic band to open the door, you don't need anything else.
You've been using it all day to pay for stuff.
Yes, you've linked it to your card, so you can use it all day, and then just use it to open your door. And then all of a sudden, you can't. Which is, again, not a huge thing, but it's just those little things.
Yeah, but you do get the deluxe extended magic hours at night.
You do, yep. And early morning, it does have those perks too. Early morning,
but no Disney dining plan with this one though.
So, okay, and I guess you do get. It's. I want to say it's a night, like when you walk into the hotel, you do get a feeling. Yes. I don't know if it's this smell, and it smells so good, and it's really beautiful. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. But I'm trying to think,
very unique.
You don't get the same feeling when I walk into like Disney Resort, Wilderness Lodge, or so it's a great one. It's just, to me, very expensive for the same perks.
Yes, and that will take us to the next one, which is right next to it, the Boardwalk.
And we love this one. This one, I know, there's something so charming about the Boardwalk.
It's so we stayed there in December of 21. It's in between Epcot and Hollywood Studios. You can walk to either one. It's about a mile walk to Hollywood Studios. Closer to
it's a long walk.
Yeah, it's closer to Epcot, so that's nice. You get the friendly boats if you want to take it.
Yep, friendly boats there, and the Boardwalk is a really interesting area. I mean, it has these, I don't say not Christmas lights, but they have this, the like lights along the chandeliers. Lights along the boardwalk, and they have the Surrey bikes,
Atlantic City vibe. Yes, so that's awesome.
Boardwalk in particular, what we really liked about it too is they have this huge green space.
Yes,
and it's not sod; it's the turf. They have this turf, and they during the day or even in the evening they can do like a little blow up movie, like a blow up screen with a movie playing. They'll bring out balls and toys. And so my kid, when we would do is, hey, this is a great green area. We can go and let him run around or crawl. At the time he was crawling. It was a great time to go and crawl, because you don't really want him to crawl anywhere else on Disney property when you're there.
That's great. They'll bring out a little fire pit and do s'mores.
Yeah.
During the winter.
He likes to do the bubbles that he got in the park, and other kids were there too. So it was a really great
vibe. And they got some shops on the boardwalk. We ate at the Italian restaurant, Al Forno. It was really good. I mean, at the time it didn't really have good reviews. It has good reviews now, but when we ate there, it was amazing.
It was so good. I know when I did the reviews or listened to the reviews on it, I was like, people really didn't like it, but it was delicious.
It was very good. And then Flying Fish wasn't open at the time.
Nope, it hadn't reopened yet. They were still waiting on the reopen.
Yeah, so it was.
We did Blue Zoo.
No, we did that at Swan and Dolphin.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
So
it's hard to remember, those two are so close.
Some of the things that we noticed about it that we didn't really like, it is a deceptively large resort. Our room is at the very end towards Hollywood Studios, and it felt like it took 20 minutes to get to your room.
Like the halls kept going and going.
And they were narrow too.
They were so narrow. I was like, how big is this resort? I mean, at the end of the day, you're so exhausted and you're like just looking forward to getting to your room. So you go up these stairs and we would go, and it would keep turning and turning and turning. I was like, is it ever going to end?
So if you need extra steps,
then you'll like anybody needs at a Disney, but absolutely, it's a large one. So I think if we stayed there again, we would do the preferred room.
Yes, a little bit closer.
Just so it's
closer. And at the time, we didn't really we didn't check the pools out. We didn't know if there was a playground.
Yeah, it has that creepy pool with the clown. Yeah. We never checked it out, but I know it's there. I
don't know if it's still there anymore.
Oh, I don't know.
At the time,
the feature pool is the clown pool.
Yes.
That's
funny. So, all right. So our next one, we are going to do. This is the
original.
The original. We did Wilderness Lodge.
No, Animal Kingdom was a lot original.
Oh yeah, Animal Kingdom Lodge. That's right. Yeah. So that was our very first DVC rental that we stayed at.
So we've heard about DVC rentals, and we'll have to do this on another episode because we do a lot. That's the only way we can afford a deluxe is we rent points, and we've had really good success with it. Yeah. But this was our original rental, and what a way to start. I mean, Animal Kingdom Lodge.
And obviously, the best thing about this is the animals. If you can we got upgraded to a Savannah room. We just did a standard room.
Yeah, which would have been fine too, because you can walk right out the doors. When you get down to the resort, you can walk out these two beautiful glass doors, and they have like this trail where you can walk and see all the animals, and it's super beautiful.
Yeah, and if you get a Savannah room with a balcony, it's amazing. You walk out on the balcony and you see giraffes and all the animals. It's really cool. It's really neat experience.
It's very individual for that resort, right? Like you can't really experience that anywhere else.
So, and then the dining options are great. Jico
oh my gosh,
and
the
Boma.
dining's so good.
We've never done Boma, but we've done Jico
not.
twice.
Jico twice, yep.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
Great
and even the
food.
little lounge bar there is really nice too.
Absolutely.
I thought it was delicious. And Jico has tons of wine options too. So if you're like into wine or wine connoisseur, it's I mean, it has
and the theming is
thousands.
amazing. Very, the African hardwood, just
it's well thought out.
beautiful,
Yeah,
beautiful.
you
resort.
could see
Kind of
different days.
dark lighting. It's really neat.
Yeah, and then Christmas time is when we went, and so that's what was made it so amazing.
Yeah.
The Christmas tree at Animal Kingdom Lodge is ginormous and so gorgeous. You could sit there, you just want to take pictures, and you can't get it all in the
that
picture.
resort and Wilderness Lodge are probably the two best at Christmas.
Top Christmas, yeah.
For us, that's what
And
we
the
enjoy.
room at Animal Kingdom, we stayed in studios. We've not stayed anything but a studio so far. But the studio room I thought was very comfortable.
Yeah,
it's dark, so it's kind of like this. I don't know.
Kind of, there's a bunch of, you look for hidden Mickeys in the wood carved in there. So
I
it's
remember
pretty
the
neat.
lighting, and it
wasn't
great.
Yeah,
but it was kind of. But it was
added
the
to the
mood
vibe.
lighting. Yeah, it did. Total vibe.
Some of the things that some of the cons of it is really far from the parks.
Yeah.
The main parks, Magic Kingdom, Hollywood Studio, Epcot.
Right.
It is close to Animal Kingdom, so that's nice.
Yeah, it is close to Animal Kingdom, and they have transport via buses, but that's the only
transportation.
additional. Yeah, only
unless you
transport.
drive,
Right.
bus is the only way you're gonna get there. So, but yeah, and also you got to remember these are animals, so if you're expected to see animals every single time, just have expectations.
Yeah,
you may not see them, but if you
right.
stay there long enough, you will see them.
Right, you can search them out, but they're not like. I mean, again, depends on the time of the day and the weather and.
And you can always walk down the hallways on different floors, and they have windows every 100 feet or so. You can look out on different parts of the savannah, and you can see them that way too.
I know. Well, I remember it was raining recently in February for our son's birthday, and the park it was freezing cold. The one time in Disney, it's freezing cold, and it was raining and freezing, and I think I had COVID, so we ended up. We're like, what can we do that's inside? So we went over to Animal Kingdom Lodge, and we just walked around the interior and looked out windows at animals. And so
it was awesome. Yeah, he ran up and down the hallways, and we got to see animals through the windows.
And the lobby is so cool too.
Yeah,
so.
it's a beautiful lobby. So, all right, let's move on to the Wilderness Lodge. Now, we stayed at this one in December of 2020 when we did our split stay with Saratoga Springs.
Right. So this is still COVID. So again, everything we said was this.
Yeah, and it improved each month after October, a little bit less.
Yes, it did.
So we did our first night at Saratoga, which we hated.
Like lackluster.
And then we went to Wilderness Lodge, which is
it was like a beacon of light. It was like,
Christmas setup, the big Christmas tree.
Yes, the tree
beautiful.
was gorgeous. Now again, a lot of the restaurants were closed. The only thing that was open was the Whispering Canyon, if I remember right.
Their quick service was open too, but you couldn't
They had a limited menu.
Yeah.
It was limited. So
we got breakfast. The only thing we did there was breakfast on the quick service.
Yeah, and again, lots of mask requirements. So anytime you left your room, if you had to put your mask on like right away, or a cast member would get to you. So.
And I don't really remember the room. Like.
I don't either.
I tried to see if we had pictures of it.
But the lobby was so
the lobby
breathtaking that like I forget the room was. I don't remember anything bad about the room.
No,
I just don't
absolutely
specifically
not. It's just,
remember.
I think the lobby's the centerpiece clearly.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and then the theming.
Well, they have those big fire pits too. When you walk in, they have. Inside the lobby, they have
the
huge fire
waterfall
pits.
too. With the little bridge you walk over, and then waterfall goes outside, and then. The transportation, you got bus and you got a boat, and we did the boat quite a bit.
Yeah, the boat was a really great perk of Wilderness Lodge, is taking the boat over.
You walk down you walk down a dock kind of through the nature. It's kind of like a nature walk almost, and then you end up on the boat dock, and you take the boat over to the Magic Kingdom. It's a different view too. So it's really
any different transportation to Magic Kingdom is nice. So.
Yeah, so I mean, it can be expensive.
Very expensive. This is one that's hard to book during Christmas. I mean, if you don't book it.
A year out.
Yeah, I guess we can, 11 months I think is when you can start booking it. If you don't book it or if you're only doing one day, you maybe be able to get it, but it's really hard.
It's very hard. Even though you're right next to the monorail, there's no monorail access.
I know.
So, and the rooms, I think the rooms are a little bit smaller. So,
yeah.
But if you can get it during the holidays, do it.
Do it.
All right, so our first value resort.
Yeah. This one I really enjoyed.
No, this is our second value resort.
What was the first one?
The first one. Yeah, so we did. So this one is also our sports resort. We did this in October of 2023.
Yeah, so pretty recently. I really enjoyed it. I know people are like, it's probably the least expensive value resort that Disney offers, and I really liked it. I thought our location, we stayed in the Surfside, so that was right at the end. It was a building like right in the end.
Right next to the pool.
Right next to the pool, but also not far from our car.
Lot.
So
facing the parking lot, not the pool,
yeah.
which is nice because it can get loud.
It can get loud. Ours, fortunately, was not super loud, but the rooms are very small.
Very small.
Very small. They are tight height.
Yes, so, but you can make it work.
Yeah, absolutely.
We were right next to the pool bar, which was nice. TVs, your kind of your standard pool bar. The quick service was awesome. It is built for high traffic, high efficiency.
And there's tons of food there.
Tons of food.
A various amount of options. So I mean, you will not have fun. I'm a pescatarian, so it sometimes can be harder. But there was a million different options. So.
Yeah, and then obviously the theming is spectacular. Everything's super sized.
Yeah, I mean value resorts are going to be your high theming, like very in your face, and I love that.
Yeah, it had a kiddie pool and it had your normal pool too. So the kiddie pool.
I don't think this one had a splash pad.
No, it just had that like 6-inch deep kiddie pool.
And then it did have like little miniature slides into the pool, didn't it?
I don't know. It was just a circle, just a little circle.
The circle pool. Okay.
Yeah. So.
But it was still great, and it was great for the money because you're still getting those early morning hours. The room was, fortunately, we were on the end piece there, so we didn't have a lot of the noise.
Yeah.
However, some of the cons for this.
Some of the cons are just, if you do book this, check on the dates. For the cheer competitions, and
Pop Warner has a big conference here, or a big competition here.
It will be very crowded and very loud with cheerleaders and football players. Yeah. So just check on that. The room, like she said earlier, rooms are kind of small. Yeah. I mean, with any Disney resort, they're large. The resort's large. And
the resort large, the rooms are small.
Yes, the resort is large, room is small, and then bus transportation at peak times can get pretty crowded. So.
It tends to move fast because there's a bus like every 10 minutes, but the lines can get pretty long.
Yeah.
And this one's pretty far away if you're driving.
Yeah, I think you're kind of closer to Animal Kingdom.
Okay.
So, all right. So the next one is actually our first.
This is the first value we stayed in.
Yeah, Art of Animation. So we actually got upgraded to the Lion King
family suite. So we booked a mermaid room, which is much further from the Skyliner.
Yes.
And then they upgraded us with the magical suite of the Lion King, which was really cool. I mean, it's a really neat.
Yeah, it's close to the food, close to the pool.
It was very close to the Skyliner because we don't know because we've never stayed in the mermaid rooms, but we were told the mermaid rooms were quite far from the Skyliner.
We didn't realize this until we got on the Skyliner and we looked over and I was like, I mean,
this resort is huge. It just kept going. I was like, is that still Art of Animation?
Yeah,
and it was.
Yeah. The pools are great. This one had a little.
This is the top pool. If you're going for the pool and a value, I think this is
zero entry, and then it had
zero entry pool.
It had a little rubber play area that, and our son at the time he was crawling.
He was crawling.
He was able to crawl through it. Had a little slide. It was really neat.
They had a little like a miniature splash pad.
Yeah, little splash pad. So it was really neat.
And he really liked that. And then I think at one point I read this, and I don't know if it's true, that they used to play the music underwater. So if you went underwater, you could hear the music playing. And I read that after we stayed, so I couldn't verify whether or not that's true or not, or if they still do it.
Maybe they'll do it at All Star Music when we go in April.
Yeah, I don't know if they do it there. I know they did art, or that's where I read it. So but they have some. When you're looking at family suites, if you're looking for something bigger, want to stay in the value, the only two places that have it are Art of Animation and All Star Music.
All Star Music, yep.
So we've stayed here, and the room was great because it was huge. It has 2 full bathrooms, and it has a little living room area and then a bedroom that you go to. It's
with a separate door.
Yep, I think it's a king size bed.
Yep, king size bed.
So
with the bathroom in it.
It was a really nice upgrade. That was fantastic.
So I mean, with any value resort, it gets loud. So just
it's a little bit louder.
If you don't mind that, book something near the pool, or if you do get near the pool, just be prepared. It'll be loud until that pool closes. Yeah. So I think that pool's closed at like 10. So it could get kind of loud. So if you have little ones, see if you can get something a little bit further away.
Or get a really loud white noise machine.
Yes. So, alrighty. So the next one is the one we most recently stayed at.
The Grand Floridian.
Yes, the one we did not belong at.
We did not belong here. No. We did not.
Yeah. It was very bougie.
It was gorgeous, though. Yes. And we went in October. I really want to go in December because I want to see the gingerbread house, but we ended up going in October, more affordable. And, I mean, it's very luxury. It's very posh, old Florida.
It's beautiful. I mean,
the grounds are beautiful.
You definitely feel the luxury when you're there.
Yeah, you kind of feel. You do feel special. You do feel special.
The dining was awesome. Like we went to the Grand Floridian Cafe several times. Went there for breakfast. We did a dinner.
Surprisingly good.
Went for dinner there. Probably one of the best hamburgers I've ever had on property.
And that is saying something. You said that when we were there, and I was kind of in awe.
Steakhouse 71 has a phenomenal hamburger, but this one I think was better.
That is
had like fried brie on it. It was amazing.
That's like shocking to me.
Yeah. Then they just opened up the character dining.
Yes, we didn't get to do that, but we'll have to do that. 1923.
Yeah.
I've heard great things about it. Is it 1923?
I think it's 1920, one of those. Anyways, okay. It just opened like when we were there, like right before we got there.
Yes, that looked really good.
Obviously, the only con I can think of would be the price.
The price.
Yeah. And we did eat at Narcoossee's, which is amazing.
Narcoossee's, yes, that's another thing. Beautiful on-property restaurant.
You can get a reservation around fireworks time. It's
right on the water.
All glass windows. Yeah. The pool was amazing. We did the pool. Has a big waterfall, a big slide.
Yeah, he liked that.
Yeah, so it has a little kiddie pool too with like a structure in the middle. That we did too. So.
Yeah, and all the rooms have been upgraded in the Mary Poppins theme, and let me tell you, it is gorgeous.
Yeah, the rooms are
they have
probably
chandeliers with these glass little bird figurines, and awesome. I mean the wallpaper, the bedding. The beds are super soft.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was really nice.
Yeah. So, all right. So now we are going to the off-property ones, and this one is our favorite. I think we stayed.
Yeah. So. And this one is, I think, pretty heavily reviewed recently, but it's brand new.
It's only been open for 3 years, maybe.
Yeah.
Very recently. The Drury Inn at Disney Springs.
Yeah, we stayed there in February of 24.
Yes, and so with this one, it is a partner hotel, and you get the perks of that, which is the early entry.
Early morning out, yeah. And you get to do 7. Do you do 7 days booking?
I don't think you can.
Okay, it's just the early morning. Okay.
Yeah, just early morning.
We can fact check.
You get free breakfast and you get free snacks at night, which it's actually a full dinner.
They say snacks, and let me tell you about the bang for your buck for this place. This is like a buffet of food.
Yeah, it was a taco bar.
Hot dogs and tacos, and they give you
hamburgers.
2 drink tickets
per adult per day.
21 and older adult on your reservation. I mean, this is like. And then they do popcorn and sodas for snacks during the day, plus this nighttime snack, quote unquote, which is really like a dinner. So if you have somebody people in your party, like you're trying to save money because Disney food can be very expensive.
This is where it's at.
This is the way to do it.
Now it can be crowded.
It's
breakfast
definitely crowded.
and dinner can get crowded. So, but it's definitely worth it if that's somewhere you stay. The pool's nice. It's heated. Has a splash pad. Indoor bar, has a little arcade.
Yeah, I did have a little arcade.
It's a little bit further walking distance, about 15 minutes of Disney Springs, but I mean, it's totally worth it.
And I think what we did, whether we should admit it or not,
we went to the Artisan Palette,
quote unquote, went to the Artisan Palette
and parked there at Congress Park, and then walked to Disney Springs
at Saratoga Springs. So we kind of went over there and parked because we were going to eat at Artisan Palette, and then we just kind of walked that short distance to Disney Springs and then got back in the car. However, the Drury Inn is definitely walkable. It's about 15 minutes, so give or take.
Yeah,
weather and how fast you walk. Whether you have kids walking really slow.
There is a parking fee, but there is no resort fee.
No resort fee,
which is nice. But you do get a parking fee. So, and I think we're gonna be staying at that one in November.
And they do have buses.
Yes,
that deliver to go to the parks.
Yep. And the rooms are really nice. They're tall ceilings, very clean, obviously, because it's
brand new. Yeah, absolutely.
So. All right, next one, the Hilton Buena Vista Palace.
Again, this is a Disney Springs area. We
Disney Springs?
It's Disney Springs area. So, and this one's closer than Drury.
It's right across the street from Disney Springs.
Okay, and this was November of 2022.
Yep, and so you can literally just run across the street and you're at Disney Springs. You can there's a bridge that goes over, but it's a little bit further away.
I think you're supposed to.
If you have kids, take the bridge.
I think you're supposed to take the bridge. I think we illegally crossed the road, so.
If you have kids,
take the bridge officially.
So, the room we got was huge. It had a couch, king size bed. The bathroom was a little small, a little dated, but had a balcony. I mean, it did
have a balcony.
Room,
it did, and I think this one too has fireworks view.
You can get
fireworks view. It's a little bit more. The rooms were large. It was again a little dated, but a nice. And I think it has a lot of other resort things that we didn't utilize. So I think it has a nice pool. I think it has a gym. I think it has, because we met a couple there that was telling us they stay there all the time, and they really utilize all the on-property
amenities.
And they have, and this does have a resort fee.
It does have a resort fee and a parking fee. The food, we didn't really use the food options.
There was a little quick service that we grabbed.
Yeah, they'll make pizzas and stuff. I mean, it's expensive though. That's the only thing.
Yeah, and so again, when you're not that close to Disney Springs, it's
when you're at Disney Springs, you can get in the bubble, so it I mean, if you just need something real quick, you can get that, but it's nice.
It's okay. Yeah, it's a good option.
So all right, so the next one All right, so we have the Holiday Inn Disney Springs, and I think this is probably the one we like the least.
Least favorite.
So,
talking about being outside the Disney bubble.
Yeah, the only pros I have is the walking distance to Disney Springs, and then everything else was kind of con.
Maybe the cost could be a pro, because I think it was cost effective, if I can remember right. I just wouldn't recommend it.
As soon as we walked in, we got hit up for their timeshare. And I had to pull Michelle away because she was almost hook, line, and sinker.
I never can catch on to those things. And I thought, she was like, do you want free tickets to things? And I was like, oh, of course I do. So I didn't really understand the significance of what they were doing. So like 22 minutes later, after, she was like, oh, and sign up here. Go ahead and, we'll take you on this tour. And I was like, oh, no, I don't want to do any of that.
As soon as you check in. So.
And then it's anytime by the door.
And anytime you're in the lobby, they were trying to do it too. So, and the rooms were outdated, smelled like smoke.
Oh, we had to remove rooms because one was, I think, musty and smoky.
Transportation is hidden. It's there, but it's
definitely there.
I think you had to schedule it, I believe. You had to so it's just, I think that's when we first started driving. And because we knew we're annual pass holders, so you get free parking. So we were like, let's just use that.
I think I think this was the one that kind of, we decided to do that. And I don't remember how close it was to Disney Springs. I feel like it was further.
It's about a 15-minute walk.
Okay, maybe that's
we did walk to Disney Springs.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
So that's probably our least favorite.
Yeah, and every time we tried to walk out the door, they would try to get you hey. Yeah. So I think it's cost effective. It's not terrible. It's a standard hotel room. It's a little dated.
Yes. So all right, and so our last one is the very first one we stayed at.
Yeah, this is the original.
The original. It is the Hilton Mystic Dunes Resort, and we stayed in this in September of 2018.
Yeah, this is the original one where you took me when we got our food and wine passes, and it was in 2018, so quite a bit ago.
Yeah. So it was amazing. We loved this one. It's just really far away from the parks.
There's no Disney magic here.
None. I mean,
but it's a great size.
Yeah, I think we paid $80 for essentially a 1-bedroom apartment.
Yeah, I mean, it had washer and dryer. It had a full kitchen. It came with, it was like an efficiency of things
right next to the pool, which had a big volcano waterfall, nice pool bar with food. It has a golf course, a putt-putt course.
It had tons of amenities. I mean, no, you have to drive to them because it's a huge sprawling resort. It's almost like a
I think it's
condominium.
I think it's a timeshare too.
Oh, that makes sense.
So,
okay.
But it has Disney transportation. But with some of these places, you're gonna stop at multiple hotels and resorts.
And it was what are those buses called?
Like a I don't know, like a bus van.
Yeah, and then it stopped at multiple places. So I think it took us 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah, to get to the park.
To get to park
because you're stopping so many times. So just be aware if you do stay at this place. There's a resort fee. Other than the pool bar, there really wasn't much. I think all they had was pizza and
food was a little lackluster there. So I mean, but it had you could, if you wanted to save money, you could go grocery shopping or having delivered and.
Yeah, and he also we went to Universal. We stayed there twice. The second time we went to Universal, and it was about a 45-minute drive one way.
One way. Us driving, not even on the bus. Yeah. That was us
driving.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So just be aware of that. So.
Nice room, but not definitely out of the bubble. Definitely, it's a different experience.
So, but so those are the resorts that we stayed at.
And see, upcoming we have in April. That's our next trip.
Yep,
we're going to stay at
All-Star Music Family Suite.
All-Star Music, and we're staying at a family suite. And I hear that one has 2 full bathrooms too. So I am looking forward to that. And it has a refrigerator, ladies and gentlemen, a full refrigerator, not a little cooler fridge. So I am. Nursing our current baby too. So we love that there's a full freezer and a full fridge, especially for toddler snacks. So I'm looking forward to review that.
Yep. And then in November we're doing the Drury. And then December we are doing the Key West 1-bedroom villa.
Key West 1-bedroom. It's our first time at Old Key West and our first time in a 1-bedroom villa for DVC. So
we are pretty excited.
There's a lot of things on the horizon.
If you have any questions, comments, email us at theenchantedmic@gmail.com or reach out on Facebook and Twitter.
Yeah.
Or X, as it's called now.
X. And we updated our audio, so let us know what you think of that. Yeah, we got some reviews saying that we needed to upgrade the audio because of the static. And so we did that. And so hopefully it's coming across clearer and you enjoyed the episode.
All right. Y'all take care.
Okay, bye.